Hey guys, Jenna Sky here, and I wanted to talk to you about stretching versus somatics. And I know, as a body worker of over 20 years and a yoga instructor, that we're often taught that stretching helps to release muscle tension. And, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is not how that works. Here's why. With somatic education, we learn more about how the internal processes are working in the body, the sensory receptors of the muscles in communication with the nervous system to understand the tension patterns that are being held in the body and how to release them. And guess what? Stretching does the opposite. Stretching elicits a response called the stretch reflex. And the stretch reflex is a signal that is sent from the nervous system back out to the muscles that is saying we have to protect this area, right? So think about it. If you're stretching because, you have some tension in the neck and you're like, I need to stretch because it's tight, and you do the opposing action, which is stretching and trying to lengthen that muscle, now you're sending a signal to the nervous system that's saying, okay, this muscle is already tense and tight, and now you're pulling it, which is making it even tighter. And in an attempt to protect and preserve the structure, the nervous system sends the signal to tighten more to protect that area. And it will even activate other surrounding muscles to also contract to protect the integrity of the muscle, to prevent tears, to prevent injury, right? So the body is always trying to protect itself. And when we allow ourselves to understand that and approach things from why is this happening and what is the protective measures that the body is taking in this moment, we begin to understand why things are happening the way they're happening, right? So this muscle is probably tight because it's trying to protect the integrity of the structure of the neck, because you probably have a forward head posture, might be sitting at a desk, scrolling on your phone too much, slept wrong, right? So in an attempt to preserve that structure, it's tight to hold the structure in a better position. Now, that's not to say we don't want it to relax and release, right? Because we know that we can realign ourselves and allow ourselves to come back into a better posture. So to do this, instead of stretching, which elicits that response, which creates more tension in the muscles and activates that stretch reflex, which can actually increase your pain, we actually, in somatics, turn towards the contraction, right? So we become aware of what area is contracted specifically, and then we actively and consciously contract that muscle even more. So for the example of the shoulder, I should do this side. For the example of the neck and shoulder, right? Commonly, people get tension here in the upper trap. So this area, we would contract, bringing the shoulder up to the ear and contracting that muscle and feeling that contraction of the muscle and holding that contraction. And then also allowing that awareness of lowering it back down and relaxing until it fully relaxes and comes to that restful state, and maintaining that awareness. The process of slowing down and actually contracting towards the areas that are tight or tense helps with the neuromuscular integration of that area. So this is how we start to change the holding patterns in the muscles. It's not by stretching. Stretching, the most effective, they said, stretching offers is about 20 minutes of relief after stretching. And then you find that the tension typically gets worse. So if that's you, if you are, stretching because you were told to stretch, and I'm guilty of this too, because this was ingrained in our brain as massage therapists to stretch, to tell our clients to stretch. I'm here to tell you, stop doing that. Contract the areas that are tense and tight, and then slowly release them and allow them to fully relax. You'll have a much better chance of actually relaxing that muscle tissue and releasing those chronic holding patterns than if you stretch. So there you go. The more you know.